Imagine opening a letter that could change everything you thought you knew about a beloved public figure. A letter that, instead of being filled with warmth and family memories, reveals secrets, so shocking they might just rewrite history. Sounds like the plot of a gripping drama, right? Well, that's precisely what happened when Frances Shand Kydd, the mother of Princess Diana, left behind a note that left many reeling. Let's delve into this captivating story, filled with unexpected twists, emotional revelations, and a peek behind the curtain of royal life. But before we continue, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more updates. Frances Shand Kydd was not just the mother of Princess Diana, she was a woman with her own complex story. Born into a privileged family in 1936, Frances was raised in an aristocratic environment where societal expectations were sky-high. From an early age, she was groomed for a life of privilege and high society. But beneath the polished exterior, there were struggles that shaped her character, and ultimately her relationship with Diana. Growing up, Frances experienced the pressures of maintaining a flawless image, which was not only expected of her as a member of the British aristocracy, but also ingrained in her upbringing. Her family was well connected, and there were high expectations for her to marry into another powerful and well-established family. Frances married Edward John Spencer, the 8th Earl Spencer, and together they had 5 children, including Diana. But as the years went by, the marriage fell apart, leading to a divorce that shocked the aristocratic circles they inhabited. The breakdown of her marriage was not only personal but public. In a world where appearances meant everything, the Spencer family's divorce became fodder for gossip and scandal. It was an event that affected not only Frances, but also her children, particularly Diana, who would later be thrust into the public eye herself. Despite her status, Frances's life was far from the fairy tale it appeared to be. The media often painted her as a cold, distant mother, but was that the whole story? Was Frances simply misunderstood? Or was she a product of the pressures and expectations that came with being a part of the royal circle? As we peel back the layers of Frances's life, we uncover a woman who faced immense societal pressures and personal demons. Frances's struggles were largely shaped by the constraints of the rigid societal roles expected of her. Her marriage had been strained, and the demands of raising 5 children, including the highly scrutinized Diana, added to the pressure. Diana's own mental health struggles, often overshadowed by her fame, mirrored some of the challenges Frances herself faced in her own life. It's crucial to understand that Frances's experiences were a direct reflection of the complex environment in which she lived. Being a woman in the British aristocracy, her life was governed by rules that prioritized appearances and conformity over personal well-being. This created a sense of isolation, one that would later manifest in her relationship with her daughter, Diana. Fast forward to 2007, years after Diana's tragic death. Frances Shand Kydd passed away, but it was a note found among her belongings that sent shockwaves through the media and the royal family alike. What could possibly be so shocking that it would prompt international headlines? The note, which was found after Frances's death, revealed private reflections and thoughts that had been hidden for decades. The exact contents of the note were never fully disclosed to the public, but sources revealed that it contained deeply personal reflections, criticisms of the royal family, and revelations about Frances's own mental health struggles. It painted a picture of a woman who felt trapped, misunderstood, and disillusioned by the very institutions that were supposed to provide support and stability. In the note, Frances expressed her feelings of isolation, despair, and a sense of being overwhelmed by the expectations placed on her. She spoke candidly about her relationship with her daughter, Diana, and the challenges of being part of a family that was constantly under public scrutiny. The emotional toll of living in the royal spotlight had clearly taken its toll on Frances, and her note became a raw, unfiltered glimpse into the emotional turmoil that often accompanies life in the public eye. When Diana burst onto the royal scene, she became a beacon of hope and change for many. Her compassion, her commitment to charity, and her relatable persona made her a beloved figure around the world. But how did her mother's struggles and the shocking note affect the narrative surrounding Diana's life? Many believe that Diana inherited more than just her mother's looks. She also inherited Frances's emotional battles. Frances's struggles with mental health and feelings of inadequacy mirrored Diana's own struggles within the royal family. Diana's marriage to Prince Charles, her battle with bulimia, and her deep sense of isolation were all struggles that had echoes in her mother's life. This bond of shared pain adds a new layer to our understanding of the late princess. Diana's life was not just marked by the pressures of royal life, it was shaped by the complex relationship she had with her mother. It's clear that Frances's struggles influenced how Diana navigated her own personal and public challenges. The note that Frances left behind provides a window into the emotional depth of both women's experiences, and it allows us to see them not just as public figures, but as real people grappling with their own demons. Reactions from the royal family and the media frenzy. Reactions from the royal family were mixed. Some saw the note as a vindication of Diana's struggles, while others viewed it as an unnecessary complication in the already tumultuous narrative surrounding the family. Did Frances's note serve to further entrench the divide between Diana and the royals? The media, as always, was quick to seize on the story. From the moment Diana stepped into the limelight, the media's fascination with her life was insatiable. But how did Frances's note stoke this already roaring fire? When the note became public, the media descended like vultures, eager to dissect its contents and implications. Headlines screamed about family secrets and royal scandals, but amidst the frenzy, what was often lost was the human element of the story. Two women, mother and daughter, struggling against the weight of expectations and the glare of the spotlight. Frances's note shifted the narrative from one of distant royalty to a more relatable story of familial struggle. Suddenly, the public saw not just a princess, but a daughter shaped by her mother's experiences. This shift invited empathy and understanding, challenging the traditional image of the royal family as a perfect and untouchable institution. As we reflect on Frances Shand Kydd's life and her shocking note, several important lessons emerge. Both Frances and Diana faced mental health challenges, highlighting a critical issue that is often swept under the rug, especially in high-pressure environments like the royal family. It serves as a reminder that mental health struggles are universal, regardless of status, wealth, or fame. Frances's struggles with depression, isolation, and despair were not isolated incidents. These issues are often exacerbated by the intense public scrutiny and expectations placed on royal figures. But these struggles are not unique to the royal family. They reflect the broader societal issues of mental health and the importance of understanding and addressing these challenges. Life is rarely black and white. The complexities of Frances's life teach us that every story has multiple layers. Instead of jumping to conclusions about public figures, we should strive to understand their full narratives. Frances's candidness in her note reminds us of the power of vulnerability. Sharing our struggles can foster connection and empathy, breaking down barriers that often isolate us. A call for reflection and empathy. As we wrap up this journey into the life of Frances Shand Kyddd and her shocking note, let's take a moment to reflect. What can we learn from her story? How can we carry forward the lessons of empathy, understanding, and vulnerability in our own lives? Frances's story, and by extension Diana's, challenges us to reconsider our perceptions of public figures. The world often views celebrities and royalty through a lens of perfection, but the reality is far more complicated. Their struggles are just as real as anyone else's, and they too need compassion and understanding. I invite you to share your thoughts. What surprised you most about Frances's life, or the note? How do you think it impacted Diana's legacy? Join the conversation, and let's keep the dialogue going. Your voice matters in a world where stories of struggle and triumph often get lost in the noise. Let's commit to listening to one another, understanding our shared experiences, and lifting each other up. After all, life is a tapestry woven from countless threads, and every story deserves to be told.